You find you owe the IRS, and the penalty and interest they tack on has doubled, tripled, or quadrupled the amount of the original tax. The penalties and interests are horrendous. How do you find relief? Hi, I'm Gary, and welcome to TaxBulldog for the best thoughts and ideas for trimming your tax debt. These videos should help you to help yourself to avoid costly professional fees. If your situation has a level of complexity, then you may want to consult with a professional. These videos will at least give you an introduction of what to expect and to know when someone is just trying to mislead you. If you feel you need help, see my video on selecting a tax professional to represent you at this link, and I'll put this in the description below. Now we'll cover information on states where I can. There are 50 states and each having their own unique tax laws. While I have worked with many states in my many years in this profession, they do change at times. I cannot keep up with all 50 states, where it's a lot easier with the IRS. Every time I have an interaction with a state, I update my notes on it. In these videos, I'm not able to cover all angles, aspects, and specifics of every situation. This is general in nature and will hopefully guide you to finding more information that you need. The information I provide in this video is not legal advice and should not be relied upon as such. All or portions of this video are copyrighted and all rights are reserved. In this video, I'm going to discuss applying for an abatement of penalty and interest. Penalty and interest can be brutal, and they can double or even quadruple what you originally owed. The IRS and states assess penalties for late filing and late payment. There are many other types of penalties that may be assessed, but these are the primary ones. Some of the other types of penalties may or may not be abatable. Now, the IRS in some states also assess interest on these penalties. If a penalty is abated, any associated interest with it will be abated also. Now, interest on the tax is never abatable. Congress has never provided the provision for that in the law. To get around that, you may have to look at other options, such as an offer in compromise or a bankruptcy. For far into the future, you may want to talk to your congressperson about changing the law on that. Now, the IRS in most states will abate or forgive penalty and associated interest when there is what is called reasonable cause. Now, that can be a subjective term. However, the IRS and states have defined it for their needs. The reasonable cause is when there was an event or a circumstance that made it impossible or impractical to file or pay a tax on time. Such causes can be the death of a taxpayer, an incapacitating illness or injury of the taxpayer, fire, flood, natural disaster, or any other event that made it impossible or impractical to file or pay a tax on time. There can also be reasons due to bad advice from a qualified professional on a substantive tax law issue, not an administrative issue. A substantive tax advice item may be determining income that is taxable or not taxable, or a deduction that is valid. An administrative issue may be determining a filing date or a jurisdiction in which to file. For general penalties and abatements, we look to the Internal Revenue Codes 6651, 6698, and 6698, and also the Internal Revenue Manual, Part 20.1. Now, there is a first-time offender abatement. If you're a first-time offender, there's an exception where the IRS will abate the penalty. They figured that the taxpayer made an unintentional mistake. If you've not been in trouble before, or if the last occurrence was more than 10 years ago, ask for this. You may want to wait to ask for this abatement until you are certain that all relative penalties have been assessed. If you ask too quickly, you may miss out on getting additional penalties abated that are coming down the road yet. If you already paid the tax, you can still apply for an abatement for up to 2 years after you paid the tax. You do not have to apply for an abatement prior to paying the tax, penalty, and interest. If it's approved, the IRS will send you a refund for the amount that they approved. Now, here's how to apply for an abatement. File a Form 843, and this is available at this link. This is a one-page form, and there are instructions on the second page or at this link. This is fairly simple for the typical late filing, late payment penalty abatement request. For businesses, this is a little different. I will do another video in the near future in regards to business abatement applications. You will complete a form for each tax period owing. Complete the first part of your name, address, social security number or tax ID number, and your phone number should they happen to have any questions. Sometimes some things can be quickly cleared up with a simple phone call. For line 1, fill in the tax period or year. For most individuals, this would be the tax year at issue, such as 2016. Line 2, the amount you believe should be refunded or abated. You can get this amount by getting an account transcript from the IRS. At this time, the IRS is working on giving taxpayers access to this information via the web. Else, you can call them at the phone number listed on their notice or call the general number of 800-829-1040. That line has long hold times. If you get the transcript, you can go through it and find the line items that list the penalty amount. Don't concern yourself with the interest items at this time, just the penalty amounts. Line 3 is the type of tax. For individuals, you would check off income. Line 4 is the type of penalty. Here, they ask you to list the Internal Revenue Code for that penalty type at issue. As I mentioned above, this is one of these three: the failure to file and failure to pay, and the Internal Revenue Codes are the 6651, 6698, and 6699. The line 5, check the box for your reason for requesting abatement. Typically, this will be the third box, reasonable cause. Line 5B, dates for the payments that you've made in the past. List payments you made on this or refunds that have been offset against this. You may extract this information from the account transcript. Line 6, check the box for the type of original return that was filed upon which the penalty and interest was assessed. For most individuals, this will be Form 1040. Line 7, your explanation. Here you get to explain your events and circumstances that made it impossible for you to file or pay a tax on time. Now for penalties, apart from late filing and late payment, sometimes the taxpayer suffers penalty assessments after a return was filed if the IRS discovered underreporting or under-substantiated deductions as a result of an audit. Here, some additional types of penalties that can be assessed. The accuracy-related penalty, which is a 20% penalty. The civil fraud penalty, which is 75%. Criminal fraud penalty, and that comes with up to 3 years in prison and $100,000 in fines. And one is still liable for paying the correct tax. So in summary, you can apply for an abatement of penalty and interest if you have reasonable cause. You can apply for an abatement even after the tax has been paid, and you can get a refund if it's approved. How to complete the abatement form 843. Now here are some resources, and I'll put these in the description below. TaxBulldog.com. This is my website with many articles, documents, and forms and other information in regards to dealing with tax collection and audit issues. I try to demystify things. /IRS Back Taxes book at this address. TaxBulldog on this channel here on YouTube for helpful videos. The IRS on YouTube. Now this is a treasure trove of helpful videos for taxpayers. It's very good stuff. The IRS on tax scams. I'll put that link in the description below. This is what to watch out for and the game scammers play to steal your money. They are very good at it. They are professional thieves. So in closing, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it and you got some ideas out of it, please give me a like and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. This is all I do, and I do it well. Please subscribe to see my future videos as I produce them so you can be aware of topics that may be timely and important for you at that time. Also, from time to time, I will update the descriptions in the videos as I add other relative videos and information as an update. Check back often if you need more information. I may have something new for you. After a period of time, some of the tax law, regulations, processes, and procedures can change. I will post updates on my website at TaxBulldog.com and in videos here on YouTube. I will also post updates in the descriptions of previously posted videos. After a period of time, some of the links may expire as old content is changed or removed from the web by others. Thank you.